All right. Okay. So we've had a night to sleep on it, and hopefully we're all feeling a little bit better now. It's never fun losing to the Hawks, but it is what it is, and we've got to push on. So today it's about going through some of the tweets for the week. And I'm going to start with Brooke. And Brooke says, I hate the stand-in rule and the umpire abuse 50-metre penalty is a blight on our game. I get we need to be respectful to umps, but players can't even ask a question anymore. Shocking. I don't like it either, Brooke. It's getting to a point that I think all of us are thinking it's quite ridiculous and something needs to change, or there needs to be an update to the interpretation. Because, there seems to be, it's okay for the umpires to speak condescendingly towards the players when they're explaining decisions, but players can't even look at the TV screen or put a hand up. I think the intention of the rule was to penalise those players that were overly demonstrative, but it's gone a little bit too far the other way. So it may need a little tighten up there, and I don't think we'll get too hysterical about it because I think a tighten up, a reinterpretation will come pretty quickly. But something needs to change because it's getting out of control, and you could pay a lot more 50-metre penalties every game. And I don't want games decided by 50-metre penalties. And yes, games aren't decided by 50-metre penalties, but they can be quite influential to the outcome of a game or to the flow or momentum within games, which is a bit annoying. Thanks, Brooke. Trevor Young says, I salute the General, which I believe he's talking about Joel Selwood. He was under siege for much of the time and the scoreline would have been uglier if he wasn't there. I thought the younger units showed terrific endeavour. Hats off to Max Holmes and Sam de Conning. Thanks, Trevor. Look, Joel, he does a lot of that in and under stuff, gets a lot of possession, doing all the hard work. I was really pleased that his possessions were really effective. I think it was about 88% of his disposals were effective the other day, and he got a lot of his hard ball as well. So normally when you see a player that gets a lot of like contested ball, their possessions are down because they're getting it in those really tricky situations, that tough situations where there's not a lot of time to get the kick off or get a handball off and you're under pressure. But the fact that he was 88% was amazing, and he had his 10 tackles as well. I gave him my 3 votes for the best player on the ground, even though I only saw a half a footy, and I will catch up on the first half a bit later today. Thanks, Trevor. I thought, and Holmes was great too. Gets better every week. Sam de Conning, don't know. I want to keep playing him. I agree with that. I think that's really important. We keep getting games on him, but just, again, plenty of times, a few times through the game, just out-muscled in contests and was probably in the wrong spot. His positioning needs a bit of work, but that'll come with time. Not even I think 4 or 5 games into his career. Don't want to be too harsh on the young fella. All right, so we've got DJ Styles, who says, I'm done defending Myers. Shit. I've been trying for ages, but this was the last straw to break the camel's back for me. And a majority of today are gutless. Some of Geelong gave a shit, others mailed it in. Let's not get embarrassed by North Melbourne. Oh, look, Paul Gryan, and I was probably hard on him last night on my live match review as well. But, I want to see him get better. I hope he's capable of it, but I feel that he does need to go back to the twos for a bit. Maybe he's in the team because Rowan's not there. It's probably the reason, to be honest. And I'd love to have 22 blokes that demand a spot every week, but there's not many clubs that do that. There's probably 1, maybe 2. Melbourne's probably the obvious one. But I guess we're in that group of clubs that don't have 22 blokes demanding to be picked week after week. And Gryan is probably one of those players that are in our bottom 6 that, or a group of 12 players or so that will just rotate in and out, not including those that are being managed week after week. Thanks, DJ. Oh, look, I'm a bit nervous about the North game too. Very, very nervous about the North game. Jared Kane says, I feel for players like Tom Stewart and Cameron, for blokes that like that who give it their all. It must be very frustrating to be alongside some really bruise-free lads. At least 5 Geelong players look scared to win the footy today. Interesting, isn't it, that we're playing our biggest rival in Hawthorn, and it's always played like a final. Yet you're right, there were some players at times that just didn't seem to want to get dirty and to take the hit or to lay a hit. But yeah, very frustrating for those that are just giving it their all and realise that this is their biggest rivalry game, and you'll want to turn up. We were beaten. There's many reasons why we lost that game. One of them was just a few of our players were passengers and didn't really go hard enough when they needed to, or waiting for others to do it for them. So that's a bit frustrating. Thanks, Jared. Rudy, check out Rudy's blogs or his little articles. There'll be some links in his Twitter account. I really enjoy them, seeing them every week. They're great. But Rudy says in the Twitter, Hawthorn having 3 goals before we've had a disposal is not ideal. Rudy, not ideal at all. I think it was, I don't know how many minutes in. I'm so glad I didn't see those first couple of minutes. It would have been pretty terrible, but not great for those Cats fans that were at the game. In the soggy conditions, wouldn't have been enjoying that a hell of a lot, I would think. Thanks, Rudy. Now, Rick Hazeman, hopefully I've spelt that right, or Hazeman, forgive me, Rick. Rick says, games where we control the momentum but can't convert goals are the most frustrating to watch. Such a good contest today, but not when it mattered. You see that a lot, and it's not just Geelong. There's other teams that do it too, where you've got that momentum. You just need to kick a goal. And sure enough, what happens when you miss? It goes down the other end and they kick 1, sometimes 2 goals. And it just deflates you so hard. And it's frustrating for the fans. I'm sure it's terribly frustrating for the players that, would just need that little boost to get to the next contest and the next contest, the next ball up in the middle of the ground and to go again. But missing easy shots. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard on the players. We just need to take our opportunities when they're there. Thanks, Rick. Now, Jacko Mallott. Jacko says, if Luke Dalhouse is having 1 kick, 9 handballs, and 0 tackles, what role is he playing that a kid can't develop in? I'm 100% in agreement with you, Jacko, and I love the Dale. But I want to see another kid have an opportunity. It doesn't mean I don't. Dale frustrates me sometimes. I love it when he's going well. But his performance yesterday, there's going to have to be some heads rolling from that performance, and I think he'll probably be one of them. Unless we've got a few injuries, which we probably do have, that come out of that game, and you just can't. You don't want to be making 8 changes. That's just ridiculous. I get a bit nervous when we make more than 3 changes. But I'd say the only way Dell keeps his spot this week is if we make a few. Is if there's a few injuries and we just need his experience in the side. It is what it is. So I think I'd like to see one of the younger guys. When I'm talking about younger guys, I'm not talking about the 22 and 23-year-olds. I think we've got a few of them in the team already. I'm talking about the 18-year-olds that I want to get some games and I want to reward them for their good work in the VFL. Narkle will probably come back at some point as well. But at some point, let's play some of these first or second year players. Give them a chance. Thanks, Jacko. Now, Just Jan 2. Short one, but I enjoyed this one. I'm not confident of beating North. I'm not confident either, Jan. I'm probably going to change my tune later in the week, but right now, as it sits, I'm feeling a bit nervous. And I never like playing North, even though they haven't been a great side for a few years now. But they always seem to trouble us a little bit. And I can't remember the last time we had a big win over them. They always seem to be reasonably close, and we can never get comfortable, or we never hit top gear against them. I hope we show them enough respect when we play them, because we can't afford if we lose this one. Oh my God, I don't know what that'll do to our season. We do need to get back to being 4-2. I was hoping we'd be 4-1 this week, but not to be. But if we're 3-3 after losing to North, I think I've seen enough of a sample size there that season's not looking good if we lose to North. But let's hope, Jan, you and I are just a little bit hot-headed still, and and the Cats will do the business on the weekend. Thanks, Jan. And now Kat says, the best thing that can come out of today is a shooting star meme. I agree, Kat. It was quite funny. Hopefully everyone's seen it by now, the Tommy Hawkins shooting star meme. It was a little bit funny, I guess. It put a smile on my face when I saw that. But yeah, that's probably one of the only good things that came out of the day, unfortunately. A couple of injuries, lost to Hawthorn. Well, what are you going to do? Anyway. All right, Jared Thompson says, just couldn't finish off as often as Hawthorn, made worse by taking my Hawk supporting mate to the game. Lots to improve next week. Now, Jared, two things. Why did you take your Hawthorn friend to the game, and why do you have a friend that's a Hawthorn supporter? I'm disappointed in you, Jared. I think you need to have a long, hard look at yourself and do a bit of soul searching and really think about who's in your inner circle, because I just don't think being friends with Hawthorn supporters is going to bring you much joy and happiness in your life. So, yeah, have a good think about that, mate. I'm just kidding. But hopefully you've got some opportunities in the future to stick it up your friend again. That didn't sound good, did it? But yeah, hopefully you've got some opportunities in the future to the Cats will have a win and you'll have a bit of fun at their expense. Anyway, it is a G-rated show, this one. Sorry about that. Now, Americans watching the footy say Cats are slowing it down a bit too early. Needed another goal to do that, getting too cute too soon. I noticed exactly the same thing, and I saw it happening, and I think, what are we doing? This is 2021 style of footy. Why are we chipping it around with the 2-goal lead? This is ridiculous. Can we just go back to doing what has been working and what got us back into the game? What we committed to doing the first 4 rounds of the year, not slipping back to this old way of playing. Like, yeah, maybe when we're 4 goals up, that's when you've got control of the game. When you're 2 goals up, just keep pushing forward. So I was a bit frustrated by that. I'm glad you picked up on it as well. Now, Paul, I'm not going to pronounce this. Sorry, Paul. Well, I'm going to struggle to pronounce this. Paul Marcity. I've probably got that horribly wrong. Sorry, Paul. Forgive me. Spell my name wrong if you want. Or pronounce my name wrong if you want. Geelong versus Hawthorn always delivers drama and excitement, but doesn't always deliver us the 4 points. The better team won today. Yeah, look, that's probably. I had to pick out a few. I guess it's a positive tweet, this one, or not so much of a negative tweet. Hawthorn Geelong games. I get up for them every year. I love watching the rivalry. I'd much prefer to win, and the last 10 of them, not counting the one that's just gone, we'd won 7 out of 10 and 8 out of the 10 Easter Monday games. So they're great fun. It's so enjoyable beating the Hawks, but equally it's really painful when you lose to them. And then every time you see the sports highlights, you see the Hawks just celebrating and getting over the top of us again. It's horrible. I don't want to think about footy, even though I'm doing all these videos. But yeah, it's really hard to think about footy after a loss to the Hawks. It's bad enough when we lose normally, but when you lose to the Hawks, it's almost. Well, I wouldn't say it's bad as losing a grand final, but it's not far off it. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Paul. Tell me how to pronounce your name, by the way. Send me a message. I'll get it right for next time. All right, now Ross Mueller says, bring the mouth guards to training next week. Yeah, we need to really lift at training. I think the intensity needs to be there. So hopefully the coaches run the boys pretty hard through the week, and they get up for North and they really put North to the sword. Again, I'm not confident that we're going to beat North. Haven't seen us dominate them in recent years too well. But yeah, I just want the boys to really turn up to training and give it everything and just be ready to go hammer and tongs at the Kangaroos on the weekend. Oof. If we don't win by a big margin or comprehensively dominate them, I'm not going to be happy. I think we're very much capable of destroying them. And if we don't show something, then I'll be a very disappointed Ben Reeve when it comes around. All right, now what does Luke say? Luke says the gap between Reece Stanley's best and worst is getting bigger and more noticeable each week. He had a massive opportunity to be the dominant player on the ground today once Reeves went off, injured and didn't take it. Can't play next week. Luke, yeah, I think he's going to play next week. Even with Radagolair in the side, probably coming back to have another opportunity, providing he's fit. We just don't have enough ruck depth at the minute. And Reece, he's played reasonably well throughout the year, so I actually hope the coaches stick with him a little bit. Like, I was frustrated with him too and felt like he wasted a really good opportunity to get on top when Ned Reeves went down. the other day, but I think we just have to stick with Stanley, and we can't just be dropping ruckman every second week. So I think he's going to. Well, even if I'm wrong about that, I think he's still going to play next week. So hopefully he puts in a better effort. Look, there were some good things he did. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it was his opportunity to really go nuts. Maybe we're not giving enough credit to Hawthorn and the way they structured up and around that loss of Ned Reeves, and they should probably just ruck to him, I suppose. But anyway, I'll be interested to see what other people think about that, about how Hawthorn set up around Reece Stanley and what they did in those situations. Thanks, Luke. And now Tay says, it doesn't say a lot. I don't know what he says. No FKN words, BS. What does FKN mean? I have no idea. I do actually, but I won't say it out loud. It was a bit like that. I was pretty silent after the game. Went into my shell a bit, just seething red hot rage, which usually doesn't come out. I'm not extremely verbose when I'm angry. I usually just sort of withdraw into myself. I was not FKN happy though. And I'm hoping for a much better FKN result next week. Thanks, Tay. I think this is my second last one for the week. There's a few. I think I've gone through about 15 or 16 tweets this time around. But Manu says the boys thought they'd had it won at 3/4 time. The Q was firmly in the rack in that last quarter. Yes, but not the first couple of minutes of the quarter, or first 4 or 5 minutes of the quarter. We were playing okay. It started to go wrong, didn't it? After that, and then I don't know what was going on. We just couldn't sort things out, and it just got worse and worse. And yeah, it was very frustrating to watch. And look, credit to the Hawks. It's like vomit in my mouth when I say anything positive about Hawthorn, but credit to them. They did well. They did what they needed to do. They took their opportunities in the last quarter, and we blew every opportunity we had, and pretty much gifted it to them in every way you can imagine. So good on them. Anyway, thanks, Manu. And our final and my favourite tweet of the week is from Todd Nikolic. And Todd says he had to do a bow prep this Arvo and enjoyed that much more than the last quarter. I don't know if anyone would enjoy a bow prep. I hope it wasn't too painful for you, Todd, or uncomfortable for you. But you're probably right. I think I'd rather get horizontal and cop that than watch that last quarter again. It wasn't enjoyable at all. But anyway, thanks, Todd. And that's the tweets for the week. Clearly a bit of a negative tone this week. That's going to happen after a loss. But, we'll hopefully smash North and everyone will be glowing about how well Higgins played when he got recalled, and Brian Myers should be All-Australian, and Stanley's, we need a statue of Stanley outside Kennedy Park, all this sort of stuff. We fall in love with the Whipping Boys all over again. Sparkle Narkle plays the game of his life. Gets 40 touches. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for your tweets. We'll see you. I'll probably have another show, a little teaser of a show we've got coming out on Wednesday night. There'll be a little promo for that on Tuesday evening tonight. So look out for that one. Anyway, see you, Cats fans.